Okay. CADCA. All right, Community Anti-Drug Coalitions of America. Mr. Evans? Mr. Evans, you're going to be a busy guy.
That's my privilege, Your Honor.
Well, thanks.
And I'm going to enjoy appearing before you. You are a very thoughtful legal scholar, and I've learned a lot from you so far.
Look, I'm never going to stop you from all that.
No, I know. I understand.
And as a matter of
And I
fact,
think
if
you're
anyone else
good-looking.
thinks of anything positive during the entire proceedings that they'd like to say,
Right.
that's a sure way not to get interrupted. Thank you for saying that, Mr.
Okay.
Evans. And I know that you are representing quite a bunch of them. Let's have your appearance, and if you could tell me, it's my understanding that you are representing the CADCA, first off, the Community Anti-Drug Coalitions of America, the Cannabis Industry Victims Educating Litigators, which is CIVEL, the National Drug and Alcohol Screening Association, NDASA, also Dr. Finn and Dr. Drum. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
So since I have you at the podium, if you could give me your appearance and office address, we'll go through and we'll deal with all of them.
Okay, my name is David G. Evans, and I am Senior Counsel of the Cannabis Industry Victims Educating Litigators. Our office is at 203 Main Street, Suite 149 in Flemington, New Jersey, 08822.
Thank you.
And I'm representing the Community Anti-Drug Coalitions of America. So in the future, if I can just refer to them as CADCA.
That's fine.
Rather than having to lay that whole thing out. And CIVEL would be my organization. And then I'll just say Dr. Finn and Dr. Drum. And then the National Drug and Alcohol Screening Association, I'll call NDASA, just for make it, I don't have to stand up and recite everybody's name.
Thanks.
Okay.
Sorry. I was just getting my equipment. All right. Let's see. Oh, one thing. This was one issue that we've had. Everybody gets column A or column B. If a person's represented, then everything has to come through their counsel. So I get no surprises from clients. If we could talk to everybody about that, I would be grateful. It helps them, it helps you, it helps me. So if you could talk to, I think there's at least one of your clients that had a different point of view.
I think you're probably talking about Mr. Drum. I received a complaint from your office about him.
Complaint is strong.
Well,
I would say that's strong.
whenever I get any call from a court about a problem, I consider it a complaint that I have to deal with. I apologize for what happened.
No need.
He experienced a personal tragedy in his family. His sister was killed by somebody who was intoxicated with marijuana.
Sorry.
And he has a very strong emotional involvement in this. And he has now been straightened out, and that will never happen again.
Well, a lot of what happens is built on enthusiasm. No need to apologize whatsoever.
Right, okay. So do you have any other issues, Your Honor?
I do. One thing that confused me at first is that you've got I guess it's a little cover sheet that you use, that I understand its purpose when you're dealing with clients, but it mostly says, don't consider any of this legal advice and I don't recommend anybody. If you could, in future filings, if that could be omitted, it probably would help for the record overall. I do appreciate that it's part of your office practice.
Yes, it is, because we frequently get calls from the victims of the marijuana industry, people that have lost their children, committed suicides, had personal injuries, and we try to help them get an attorney in their state. So one of the things I say to them right off is that I'm not licensed to practice in your state. You cannot consider this legal advice. And my malpractice insurance company tells me I have to say that. But I will delete it from any further
It may not be a big issue. It was a little confusing when I first read it, saying, well, he doesn't stand behind anybody. Why is he here? But I understand it now.
We do stand behind the people that we take on as clients.
I appreciate that.
But that is just because we deal with a variety of people at very different stages in their grief or in their deciding whether or not to get an attorney or not. And I just don't want anybody to go in and say that David Evans gave me the following legal advice in a state in which I'm not licensed to practice law.
Sure. Well,
So we
it took
try
me,
to put that warning out.
once I read a few of them, I got the drift of it. First, I thought you were telling me something like, I don't believe any of this stuff. Just
Oh.
do it. Let's talk about Dr. Drum. I don't have any availability dates. Do you have them?
Yes, he provided them. Let me just see. It's at
I missed
9.
them. I thought,
He did something where he.
oh, wait, I'm sorry. It says January. It says
January,
availability
yes.
dates. I'm sorry, I had missed it. Because when I was looking for when I saw the puzzled look on your face, I knew that there must be operator error on my part. It looks like we've got good availability for him in January and February.
And did I hear you correctly, Honor, that people can testify virtually?
Yes.
Oh,
And
because
I
he's from
think
California, that would be immensely helpful if he was able to do that.
based on several phone conversations with the chamber staff that I think he's had regarding availability, I
Right.
thought that that might be an issue, and yes, he certainly can.
Yeah.
Give me a piece of paper by the homework date, telling me telling me who you'd like to call virtually. And we will make the arrangements, we'll send him a link, and then he can testify on any of the dates that he
Yeah,
gave.
some of those conversations may have occurred before he asked me to represent him, so again, I apologize for that.
No need to apologize. Look, there's a lot of enthusiasm on every side going in, and he's not an attorney.
I think you will find him a very interesting witness. He really knows his stuff. And
Well, I'm
it'll
looking
give you
forward
a lot
to
of
seeing
good
all of them.
information.
Let's see. All right, now I'm looking at. You've got good availability for NDASA. Just seeing if I have
I
any.
think there was a problem with Dr. Finney who's moving, but if he can testify virtually, I think that would probably resolve that issue.
That's right. He did tell us that there was a period that he would try and accommodate for us. I will leave that up to you. If he wants to testify virtually, if you both decide, that's fine.
That'd be great.
Let me know by the homework date, and we'll definitely sort that out. Let me just take a look. Okay, and now he did send us a lot of attachments. He likes attaching things. And I would just remind you of my comments that I made a date for everyone to submit them and then
Right.
put them in. Also, remember, anything that you send me, that's going to be taken out of some witness time that someone's going to have to explain to me why it's important, why I should rely on it, where it came from, that sort of thing.
This is a result of my ignorance about these types of proceedings. I have had evidence knocked out in trials before because I didn't give everybody everything in discovery. So, and it wasn't clear to me about when we were supposed to actually submit exhibits. So I just told them, look, better to err on the side of giving the information in. The original documents that we submitted to the DEA also is aimed at, really a scatter approach, hoping that something would stick and that they would be interested in and that we might have to bring up later. So I just wanted to make sure everybody had everything on the record.
I appreciate
But we
that.
will now narrow that down. I've listened very carefully to what you said about how to do that. And every single document, there'll be a proper foundation for the document.
Thanks. I don't need much. I need to know where it came from, why it's important, what the source was, why I should rely on it, and the areas that are relevant. I think you're representing the person who wrote a book and was going to give me the book. I'm grateful for all the people that you're representing too.
Right.
Thank you.
Right.
And I think that's everything I have, Mr. Evans. Anything for me?
Yes, Your Honor, you said that you don't want opinions. Most of my testimony is going to be an attack on the DOJ Office of Legal Counsel legal justification for the change in this rule.
But you see, that's something telling me, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but let me put your mind at ease there. If there's expert testimony that I need to hear about why the standard is incorrect on a scientific level, then I need to hear that. But if someone says, well, the law is all wrong, or it's being misinterpreted, and I brought a lawyer to explain this to you because of your obvious limitations, that's something that I can't have. I do need the people that you've noticed. I have no problem with the witnesses you've noticed.
Well, the concern that I have is that what I did is an analysis. The thing about this being accepted as a medicine is really a two-step process. It has to be accepted as a medicine. But then there are a whole series of FDA rules about prescriptions, advertising, labeling, and so forth. There's no way that marijuana is going to be able to do that. And so I was calling that to the attention of the court, saying, look, even if you say it's a medicine under a Schedule III, it still has to be properly advertised under FDA rules, has to be properly labeled under FDA rules. There's also the new drug application process that wasn't complied with. All of those things are going to have to take place after. And in order to accommodate the version that the DEA is proposing right now, it doesn't fit into any of those rules. And nobody had addressed that issue.
Well, it sounds like a fine thing to go into a brief that you might file. Apparently, the Office of Legal Counsel tells me that that's nothing to worry about.
Well, you should read my opinion. There's
Well, I'll
lots
read
of problems with
everything
it.
that everyone gives me.
Lots of problems with what they did. Well, and so do I take it then I can submit that argument as a pretrial brief or after testimony? When would I submit that
Everyone
argument?
gets a chance after their witness to submit a brief.
Okay.
And if you are of the opinion that that there's a Kumo tire issue, then argue it in your brief.
Okay. I will do so, Your Honor. Thank you.
I'll read everything that someone sends me.
Great.
So I appreciate it, and thanks for all your work with those
Thank you, Your
consolidated
Honor.
plans.
And I appreciate your very thoughtful, intellectual response. It's a pleasure reading your opinions. It
Well,
taught me
thank
a
you
great
for-
deal.
Thanks for saying that.
Okay.
No one takes this job because they write anything interesting. So,
No, you're
thanks,
exquisitely thoughtful, and I appreciate that.
well, I have found them very helpful in the issue of insomnia.
Right.
Thank you very much.